The college football experience week 10 pregame show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football in the NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience week 10 pregame show. YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. We got a fire slate of games upon us, as obviously with the 12-team playoff, it continues to get more interesting with each and every week, and so many teams involved as opposed to a year ago. Makes for an awesome Saturday upon us. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick D. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, I've been betting away the day. It's fantastic. So far over there.
Being in a legal state.
It is. Before I got to go through my guys, out there in California.
Parlay dealers.
Exactly. Get this, I go through my alcohol dealer too. I had crazy shit. My hookup here, it's free. You can just pull out the app. Boom. Fantastic. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the NBA Gambling Podcast. Hey, the NBA tipped this past week. So what are you doing? Get over there, subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast as well as the WNBA Gambling Podcast, because he hosts that as well. Give it up for Terrell Furman Jr., a.k.a. the villain. Really, Rel. What's up, brother?
Oh, I'm good. Last episode out on the NBA Gambling Pod, I gave out a nice plus 205 dog in the Houston Rockets. Nice ka-ching over there. And then
I don't get.
Yeah. And then we also hit an underdog lineup too, me and Moonoff. So we're giving the people cash. Like we're giving
exactly. Get on over there. And you've been giving people cash on this very show as well. Buddy, we got to me, they did a horrible job. I know there's a bunch of teams on bye. They did a horrible job though on spacing out the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the fact that the fact that Ohio State and Penn State's about to tip off in 55 minutes is actually crazy.
Yes. That should be a night game. Penn State should be super pissed about that. Shout out to Bug Boy 4.0. Give us $100. Just like that. Beer money for the boys. Let it ride. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate. Hey, Sean, Kramer might be listening. Sean, I don't think is listening, but Kramer might be listening right now. He tends to listen in the mornings as he's flying back and forth between Vegas. Can we make sure that we get that beer money, please? Let's make sure the beer money comes in. It was a very, very, very specific request, and I want to make sure that we get it to all the fellas.
Yes. Make sure it's there. We need photos later. Also, shout out to the chat.
Magic Man Blanco to send it to us.
Yes. I mean, speaking of alcohol dealers, he's one of mine. I feel like with the way he sends us booze. Shout out to Robert Martin, who goes, hey, first off, shout out to him he's wearing a Stadium Heads sweatshirt there. I appreciate that, Robert. Also, hey, Pick Dundee, I'm a half bottle deep into Crown Royal and no chaser. Let's go.
Shit.
Hey, God bless you. All right.
What game are you going to? What fucking games kicks off where you started off like that? You gotta be going to a game somewhere.
Let's go. Buddy. So look, they did a horrible job on the slate. In my opinion, like they just loaded up this 9 a.m. kickoff slate on the West, noon on the East. Ohio State, Penn State. Am I foolish? Because look, historically, I don't like taking Penn State in this game.
No, because
am I foolish?
James Franklin is a mark. He's a narc. That's what he is. He's a fucking narc that can't fucking win big games. And God damn it, I mean, if he lets us down this time, I'm done. If James Franklin lets us down, this is the worst Ohio State team. They fucking suck. They're not good. Like, I do not think Ohio State is good. I think that they are a first round out. And no matter what playoff game you give them, if they make it in as a top 4 seed, whoever ends up making it over there is going to be the first out. If they are a 5 seed and they get a home playoff game in the horseshoe, I think they're going to lose that game too. Like I do not trust Will Howard at quarterback. And I just don't. I think that when Ryan Day doesn't have the quarterback situation figured out as much to last year, it doesn't work out for them. So yeah, I don't trust it.
Let me add on top of that. To me, one of the things I think they have is an identity crisis. They forever just used to be speed at the skill positions, and just they would fuck you up. And Michigan got in their head. Michigan beat them 3 straight times. And now that they're in the middle of this like transition to wanting to be a power football team, but at the same time you have Jeremiah Smith, you have all this great talent on the outside. And I feel like they don't know who they are. Like even them going to get Will Howard, they chose Will Howard over. I did the Ohio State. I was on an Ohio State podcast over there that's very close to the program. Shout out to the Ohio State of mine. And they're like, no, he chose Will Howard over Cam Ward and Dylan Gabriel. And I'm like, I don't understand what he saw. Like, and I like Will Howard. I'm just saying, like,
the Cam Ward thing looks horrible. Like, looks really, really bad, by the way. Like you think if Cam Ward is quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes, you're saying that we're going to win national championship.
They'd be 100%, man. Cam Ward is a fucking baller, and I like, with all due respect to Will Howard, I think there's a spot in college football for his game where he's a good quarterback. But
Kansas State,
yeah, exactly, right, and to me, like that, they just fumbled it. I think they have this identity crisis, and then they're dinged up on the offensive line. And then when you add in Penn State, one of the things that I can't believe James Franklin, who historically I think in big games has gotten super conservative, going out and hiring Andy Kotelnicki from Lance Leipold, who had been with Leipold at Wisconsin Whitewater and Buffalo and Kansas. He has, like, to me, they'll take shots like that. Penn State traditionally hasn't taken those shots. So I think Penn State's going to win the game outright because of that, so it's at home. I do wish it was a night game. I do think that would be one of the, like, I would be like throwing the whole
night game. And if it's a night game, that's when we get freaky and we alt spread Penn State -6.5 like that. We're not going to go that far today because it's a week 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock game for the West. Well, you can't even say, hey, stop saying 9 o'clock, Kobe. It's 12 o'clock now. It is 12 o'clock now. It was stop saying 9 o'clock. But yeah, it's a 12 o'clock game. Like that sucks. So yeah, I'm not going to go with the alt spread, but I really do think Penn State gets it done. And Penn State +3 just feels like a gift.
Yeah. And I see Austin here's got it in the tees +10.5. I think that will cash.
It's James Franklin. If James Franklin doesn't get this done, I'm done. Honestly, how do you stick with him?
I think they might be done with them.
Yeah, how do you stick with him? Like, how do you stick with him? At that point, he shows you what his ceiling is. And his ceiling is they can be good. They'll never beat Ohio State. And because they'll never beat Ohio State, they'll never win win the Big Ten. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Well, at the same time, Virginia Tech Hokies are playing Syracuse in a huge ACC game. I know that's not, it's used to be a huge Big East game 25 years ago. It's been a long time since the Syracuse Virginia Tech game actually mattered in the ACC race, but here we are, we're looking at this, and with Syracuse, I know it's not likely but they have 2 losses within the ACC. Somehow to Stanford they lost, and then they lost at Pitt. However, though, if they were to win out, if they get this game, they're going to be favored, I think, in majority of their remaining games, with the exception of the Miami game, probably. Maybe the BC game, but I don't know. I kind of think Syracuse might be favored. Virginia Tech, if they, their schedule is incredible moving forward. I mean, obviously you have the Clemson game, but they're in a great spot with only 1 loss, and that loss being complete bullshit down there in South Florida. This is on the C-Dub, folks, but Virginia Tech, Syracuse catching 3.5 or 4, shop around. They're plus 155 or 160 on the money line. I think you got to take the Qs and the points. I think the Hokies might win the game, but historically, Virginia Tech at Syracuse has always been a little more of a dogfight than I think people realize. So I am taking the points here. It is worth a money line sprinkle with the way Virginia Tech's offense looked last week. At home, only having 220 yards of offense against Georgia Tech is a little concerning. I know you're a Virginia guy. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I am very much so. And this is one of the spots where I think Virginia Tech just lays an egg, honestly. They have now gotten everybody, especially in that Virginia Tech area, back on the bandwagon, back saying this team is, hey, we're good. We're a game away from a bowl. We have an outside shot at the ACC, all of this stuff. And I do believe that they do have an outside shot at the ACC, and winning this game puts them on the path for that. But they have Clemson next week, man.
Yes, Clemson, it's a classic look ahead spot.
Like, this is a classic look ahead to the Clemson game at home. Like, I just can't take them. I can't take them in that spot. So, although I would love for Virginia Tech to somehow figure this out at the end of the game and get a win, I'm taking Syracuse plus the points because this is a clear look ahead. Actually, I'm willing to lock up Syracuse.
I'll go there with you. I'm betting Penn State too, so I didn't play that.
Yeah, because NF tried to play me saying I didn't like Penn State money line. Play the double lock music.
Yes, let's go.
All over both of these.
This will probably be in our parlay.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And here we go. Double locks on Penn State and Syracuse, home dogs, to start the college football Saturday. Do we make it 3? Because when I think about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, same time, by the way, heading to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Like, this is ridiculous. Why are all these the same time?
I know. They really failed. Trey Harris, who's a beast wideout, if you haven't caught him, one of the better wideouts in the nation. He's questionable, but I think he's going to give it a go. Taking on Arkansas and Road Rash face, Bobby Petrino. And this offense been firing. They put up 58 was it a week ago against Mississippi State? Can they complete the sweep? Ole Miss has really beaten nobody. I mean, I guess South Carolina would be their best win, but you look elsewhere, you're like, they didn't beat anybody. They played a bunch of shitty teams. I'm all over the Razorbacks here. My only fear is this. Damn, it feels like everybody I talk to is on the Razorbacks.
Because who wants to bet Penn State in this game? Like, why? Not Penn State, but Ole Miss in this game. Like, why? This is the classic look ahead as well. Like, Lane Kiffin has Georgia next week at home.
Yeah.
He has Georgia next week.
Yeah, that's a huge dude. Arkansas is going to win. I actually think Arkansas might be just flat out better, even if you played it on a neutral. But it's in Fayetteville. Are you fucking kidding me?
Now, I'm so 100% down for Lane Kiffin with expectations, and I really think this Arkansas team is good. Like, I think Road Rash face 100%.
He's a good offensive coordinator. Say what you want about his personal life.
And then Taylor Green is healthier. Like, he's had a couple of games off of the injury. And the Mississippi State game, really, like, all right, I see him look good. I see him look healthy. If you just tell me you have a healthy Taylor Green, I really, really do think that Sam Pittman can dial up a defense that can keep Jackson Dart at bay. And Taylor Green can kind of do enough here at home. 100%. I think Arkansas is going to have to pay Ole Miss another healthy fine because they're going to storm the field after this.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, let's go. The dogs are going to be barking early Saturday morning here. All three of those going on at once. Also, at that
another one
at that same slate. Now, this one I think you might be able to fade. Stanford's at NC State. Do we even talk about this? I mean, give me Stanford in the points. You're getting 10.5. It's too much. It's too much for NC State.
Shouldn't be a 10.5 point favorite against anybody.
Agreed. And then
that is a bad football team.
Yeah. A classic. Air Force. You are a veteran of the United States Air Force. Shout out to Terrell Furman. Doing his damn duty over there. I'm just sitting over there being a pile of shit. He is out there making a fucking difference. Air Force is catching. This line has dropped severely. I know the chat was talking about it. Bryson Daly, star quarterback for Army,
out
is out. So this line dropped from like 23 to 17.5. Look, I already bet Air Force in the points at 23.5, but I was terrified when I saw Army going with those fucking uniforms that I was like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Like those uniforms are fire. What are you doing here with 17.5?
Oh yeah. I mean, now it kind of sucks because you were getting 22 earlier, but I was already on Air Force. I'm not laying this amount of points in a service game. Like there's going to be 5 possessions in the whole game. Maybe
that's
6.
my logic. Yeah.
Like, and then now that you have Daly not playing, I mean, that even more tells me that this is actually going to be a single possession game. And as much as everybody thinks Army's going to run away with this, they're probably not. Like, I think Air Force is going to get up for this game. Army's number 21 in the nation. They're 7-0, and you're having a shit season. Like, if there's ever a point to get up in for the rest of your season, it's against this fucking Army team. Like, I'm all over Air Force. I think Air Force is absolutely getting up for this game. This is their last raw.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me those Falcons. Aim high, miss small. Let's go. And shout out to my guy Bet Boy Tony C, because I got a black eye from Air Force guy during my Army days. Hey,
they try to underestimate us. They say we be sitting around a lot. They don't know.
They say fly boys, right? Isn't that what they say for Air Force guys? I might be full of shit. Shout out to Bet Boy Tony C. And by the way, yes, I will be. Me and Mac will be live with Noah Beanick there Sunday night for college basketball. We have a huge slate, maybe the biggest slate of the whole season on Monday, November 4th here. But yeah, shout out to Bet Boy Tony C. Check out the college basketball experience, folks. Moving forward, that's going on at the same time, but we also have the Manny Diaz Bowl here. This line's going up.
What a lock.
I'm all over these Duke Blue Devils. Catching 21.
This is a perfect time to remind everybody that Mario Cristobal is horrible as a double-digit home favorite. Like, this is the time that everybody should remember. You do not lay double. Where's my freaking? Let me pull my notes back up. You do not lay double digits with Mario Cristobal. Like that is absolutely what you don't do. He's not good. If we go back through his track record, 2021, 1-4-1 as a double-digit home favorite. 2019, 3-4. 2022, he was 1-1 as a double-digit home favorite. Last year, he was 1-2. And then guess what? This season, yeah, he's kind of got it done. But do you remember that Virginia Tech game?
Oh, I do.
That should have been an outright loss.
Oh, the Cal game should have been a loss. The Louisville game probably should have been a loss.
Like at some point, at some point the luck runs out, but it's clearly is not going to. And the ACC has to step in for Miami every single time. But they only step in when they're about to lose the game. We are clear far behind 21.
21, you got to hammer. They are
so going to get up for this game.
Yeah, I mean. I know Joquez Moore, their running back, is questionable, but for Duke, I don't care. Give me the 21, lock it up. This is another double lock situation here. Do I need to hit on the fact that Manny Diaz was fired from Mario Cristobal, and Manny Diaz had a better record than Mario Cristobal through 2 years, and we'll see after. I mean, it's looking like year 3 will be in Mario's favor. But still, the fact that he's a Cane through and through, his dad's the former mayor of Miami. So there's just a ton of motivation here for Manny Diaz. You saw him already get revenge on Mac Brown, who fired him when they beat Carolina. I got another lock that I like here in this noon slate. The noon slate is just going to be fucking insane. I have the Illini are hosting Minnesota. Illinois is a 3-point home dog. And for the life of me, I will say this. I don't understand the fucking line. This game reeks.
Yeah.
Because Illinois is ranked. Minnesota's not. Illinois has a better record, Minnesota, than Minnesota. And they're at home. And Illinois is catching 2.5 or 3.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand it. And I'm on the Illini. I'm terrified that it's a stink game, that Vegas is just telling you that Minnesota's going to win this fucking game with this line. But what are you doing here?
I mean, at one point, this line was 3. This was at 3 for a while.
No, you can get a 3 right now. You can get a 3 right now out there.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna take Minnesota regardless. I felt like, and I just felt like this was a big spot to get up on Minnesota, but I didn't think I was laying 2.5 with them. I'm still gonna pick Minnesota because I really like what PJ Fleck has going on there. I think they're a very, very solid and sound team that does the fundamentals really, really well. And he's found a quarterback that he trusts. And so I really do like Minnesota this year. I'm going to take Minnesota, but I'm telling you, I'm not betting this because the line it's completely confusing. I have no idea why Minnesota's laying 2.5. And this is somebody who was on Minnesota. So I like Minnesota. I'm probably not going to lock this one up though.
Yeah, this is a terrifying game. See, I'm betting the Illini just because doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I did get 3.5, which was there earlier in the week.
But a young great philosopher once said, dive into the stink.
The great Patty C. These games are always they're kind of mirror images of each other. So if you're getting 3 or 3.5, I truly think this is going to be like a 24-21 game. Last year was 27-26. The Illini won. I'm on the points with the Illini. Another one going on at noon 45 here, 12:45. Diego,
real quick.
What's that?
You like Akron or Buffalo?
This is another one that stinks. I took Buffalo.
Akron. Oh, you took Buffalo.
Took Buffalo, okay. But I believe Buffalo is a better football team this year. But why the fuck is Akron favored?
I think Buffalo's laying 1 now.
Really? I see Akron -1.
Oh.
But
lines everywhere. All right. I was just curious. I feel like everybody I've heard is 50-50 on that one.
Well, I mean, I think coming into the game, I'm terrified because it's much like the Minnesota-Illinois game to me.
Yeah.
Buffalo's a 4-4 team, but they've beaten some decent competition like Toledo and Northern Illinois, whereas Akron is 2-6. It's like, why the hell is Akron favored? It doesn't make much sense to me. You could do a ride with Vegas parlay and do Minnesota and Akron parlayed because the lines don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Akron does not pack a home crowd, folks. So it's like, hey, there's no home edge there. There's 12 people at those games. Vanderbilt, Auburn, 12:45. For some reason, Diego Pavi is an 8-point dog. He proved it last year when he went to the Plains at Auburn with New Mexico State as 28-point dogs or whatever it was, and beat him outright by double digits. I'm all over Vandy because the pisser is my favorite player in the sport right now. Shout out to BetBoy Tony C. He's his favorite player too, because that's the way you should play quarterback. He's a fucking dog. And I like his whole family. I don't know if you've seen the way his family travels. Just fantastic stuff here. But I really believe that Vanderbilt's a more well-balanced football team that takes better care of the ball. One of the biggest things, Auburn has been a turnover machine this year on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe Auburn can find a way to win the games. Like last week, I think they won the turnover possession or the turnover battle. But I can't just solidly take them. I think Vanderbilt's a better football team and their offense is more consistent. So give me the Commodores. I'll lock it up. Sprinkle that money line as well. Terrell, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm all over Diego Pavia. I mean, he does everything for the offense, and he's going to keep them in this game. We haven't seen consistently, or if at all, Auburn show the ability to have a consistent offense. Like I don't think they can take advantage of Vandy's defense at all, because I know Vandy's defense isn't all that great, but I think Diego Pavia can 100% find ways to put up points on this offense. And then you heard Hugh Freeze. I'm tired of seeing this guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see this guy anymore. Like he's fucking tired of it. Yeah, I understand why you're tired of it. He's really good at football.
Yeah, which Lane Gretzky in the chat asking
lock,
FCS. Yeah, lock it up. That's a double lock on the Commodores and the pisser Diego pissing Pavia. Lane Gretzky saying, an FCS play here. Brown plus 2.5 or Presbyterian plus 6.5. I actually like the opposing sides of those. I think Penn is better than Brown. Now, I'm not betting that Penn Brown game, but I am betting that Dayton beats the shit out of Presbyterian, the Blue Hose, because they're fucking horrible. So going back to the FBS slate, we do have Northwestern and Purdue take. This is another one. If you want to do the ride with Vegas parlay, how the hell is Purdue a 2-point favorite against Northwestern?
Yeah.
So this would be if you want to play this game. I already have a ticket on the Illini, but if you wanted to play this game of taking Minnesota, Akron, and Purdue as a parlay, I would not knock it because the lines don't make any fucking sense. So just throwing that out there. Do you have a lean on this one? Or I'm sorry, do you have a tilt on this one?
A tilt?
Do
No.
you have a teeter on this one?
No, I don't. I think Purdue fucking sucks, and I just think that Vegas is going to lose their money here. Give me Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm on Northwestern too. What else here do we got? I have another one that I bet at the 2:30 slate. I think Appalachian State is going to beat Old Dominion today. They're 3-point dogs at home. They're plus 135 on the money line. App is they're not as good as a normal App team. However, I do think this App team is going to find that they're good enough to get to a bowl. So give me App State plus 3. I'm going to ride it on the money line at plus 135 there against ODU. What are you doing here?
Yeah. I really hate that today I'm fading the Virginia schools, but I think you're right there. I think catching them at home plus 3 in a spot that, again, they really, really struggled this year. And I just think that now they've gotten to the point where the books are kind of like, I don't think Old Dominion should be favored on the road here.
Do you want another reason why? JMU is coming to Old Dominion next week. That is the Royal Rivalry.
Oh, is that next week?
It is. Oh, no. Maybe it's the week after. ODU might be on bye next week. They might be on bye.
Yeah. They got
it's their next game though. It is their next game is my point. Yeah. But yeah, maybe that ruins it a little bit. Give me App State, lock that thing up. How about the world's biggest cocktail party? I'm loving Georgia minus the points here against Florida. I think Georgia's going to put it on Florida.
Yeah.
This is one that Kirby Smart, look at the way he beats down the Gators. There's this is a recruiting battle. This is one you just have to go out there and fuck them up. And he's made no mistake about it. He's been doing that.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. And they're leaving Jacksonville for some dumbass reason. This is one of the neutral site games that actually makes sense. I'm all over laying the 15. I'd bet the hell out of that.
Yeah, it's
Oregon,
been the last
Michigan.
couple of years that he's really beat the shit out of
dude. No, Florida. He fucks them up, dude. He fucks them up, with the exception of Mullen. I think Mullen got him once, but they're gonna fuck them up. I think it's gonna be give me a 35-13 type of game. Oregon, Michigan. Am I a fool for betting Michigan plus 15?
Yeah. Probably.
You think it's gonna be a blowout, huh?
Oh, Michigan fucking sucks, man.
They do.
Like we've
They
been on
do.
this.
But I just feel
We've
like
been
it's
on this
at home.
But they've literally tried every single quarterback on the roster and none of them have worked. And now they're going back. Like now they're spinning the block. Is Davis Warren today? Is it Warren today?
I believe so. Yeah.
So now we're back at Warren. Like, I mean, I this is like, I mean, so maybe they do cover. Maybe I guess no. So maybe I guess you're not crazy. Maybe you do cover. I don't know how you put money on them. I have no idea how you put money on this Michigan team. I don't care if they do cover this game. How do you legitimately say I'm going to bet Michigan? They cannot move the ball forward.
Yeah, and I mean I understand that too. My only thing is this: Oregon's road spots. They went to Corvallis week 3. Oregon State brought in like 70 transfers. So Oregon State we knew was going to be a complete mess in September, and really the whole season. At UCLA, where I actually think Oregon has the crowd. At Purdue, who I think is to me the worst. I rank them dead last as far as Power 5 schools, right? Mississippi State being second to last, Purdue being dead last. Those are their road spots. So to me, like Michigan's just so much better than those teams from a defensive standpoint and just a crowd standpoint. Really, Oregon State's crowd was lit, but their team was not put together. So like that's why my logic on taking the 15. I also think everybody's going to be on the Ducks, but maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked at the money splits yet on that. Jake Paquin, shout out to the great Jake Paquin in the chat saying, hey, let's take those. I know he's a Wolverine fan, so Rom's taking Oregon on the alt line.
I understand. And in a perfect world, I would love to fade number 1 overall as a 2 touchdown favorite on the road. And in what I think is their first or second game as number 1. I would love to do that. But Michigan fucking sucks. Like they really, and if Oregon were to win this 30-0 and I had Michigan plus 14.5 in my pocket, I would literally want to kill myself. I can't get involved with this game. It's too emotional for me. Yeah, it's too much for me. Give me the Oregon Ducks laying 14.5 though.
I bet the Wolverines. Just give me the NF's cracking me up.
I know this isn't a totals podcast, but under 44.5, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. I like it. I like it.
You could play the music for that. I'm betting that. What?
Under 44.5, Oregon, Michigan. We got to bet one other game here. I mean, we have actually a lot of other games, but there's one that traditionally I probably wouldn't bet. But North Carolina is heading to Tallahassee. Mac Brown is done pretty much in Chapel Hill. I think that's been reported that, this is it, his final season.
Mm-hmm.
He is a graduate of Florida State. He's never once beaten Florida State. So what's the best way to end this guy's tenure at Carolina and just his college career, which includes a national championship? They're going to win this game in Tallahassee for them. And this is his moment where he finally gets a win against his alma mater.
I will admit to you, Kobe, this is very, very poor scheduling by the Florida State Seminoles. Do you know what this weekend is? This is FAMU's homecoming weekend.
Ooh.
Oh,
I did not.
I mean, this is horrible scheduling. This is horrible scheduling for yourself. This is FAMU's right across the street. This is FAMU's homecoming.
Oh yeah,
weekend.
I was in Tallahassee 2 nights ago. So, and you if you haven't been there, folks, it is right there. Yeah, let's bet Carolina, buddy. They're going to get this done.
Yeah, this is horrible timing. Like horrible timing.
Carolina is going, dude. Florida State is going to go 2-10 this year.
Yeah.
If they don't get this 2-10, I got another wager that I did, and that is the Nebraska Cornhuskers I got it at 6 or 6.5. I have to double check, but it's at 7 right now. I still think you're good there. UCLA coming into Lincoln. I think Raiola plays so much better at home than he does on the road. So I am betting the Cornhuskers minus the points there against the Bruins. What are you doing there?
Yeah, I'm back on the Patrick Mahomes variant. He got me with Ohio State. I'll admit he played slightly better than advertised than I thought against Ohio State. And so now we're getting them back here at home. First of all, UCLA barely even knows where they're from. I'm not taking UCLA.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what's going on? What's going on here? They don't know where the hell Lincoln.
I'm surprised
is,
this is still like why is this not jump past 7? I think that's my question. Like this should.
It was at 6 though. Like a lot of the week, it was at 6. Okay. So it did go up a point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all over it. You can play the music for me. I'm betting this.
Jump in on them Cornhuskers. I actually like the over 38.5 in that game too. So food for thought. I have a bunch of bets right here. I think Houston is going to cover 12.5 or 13 against Kansas State there. I also think it's worth a money line sprinkle. I know Houston's been all over the place this year. Beat TCU as 17-point dogs. Got destroyed in several games, but they beat the Utes last week in a game I was on. I like them to jump back into the mix here. I just don't think Kansas State's that good this year. I know they're 7-1, but to me, like this is like the worst K-State team to me in like the past 5 or 6 years. So, or in the Kleiman era, I should say. Well, actually, I think they were shitty during COVID. Besides the COVID season, I think Houston is definitely going to cover this game. I think they're capable of winning it, but yeah, I've already bet them in the points. Can I interest you on jumping in on the Cougs and Willie Fritz?
Yeah, I think that I agree. Kansas State is not as good. I think that they were very fortunate to walk out of Boulder with a win. I think they got destroyed by BYU.
They're very fortunate last week. They needed a 52-yard field goal.
Yeah, last week at home against Kansas, they were definitely fortunate. But then WV is just horrible. So I'm not really looking on the road at there. But here, Houston, they're playing their best football now. That's what I'll say. They're playing their best football. Well,
we knew that when Willie Fritz took over the team, you knew it was a fucking mess. You knew that as the weeks went on, with every given week, that's why I knew, like, if I go back to the Houston team preview we did in August, I'm like, they're going to beat some teams you're not expecting. Now, I didn't expect Utah to be this bad, but they beat TCU. They beat Utah. I think, as the season prolongs, I think Willie Fritz is a great coach, and I think he will find ways to upset some of these teams, or at least cover in some of these situations. Let's ride. Let's ride. You down to lock that?
No way.
Oh.
I'll let you have that one.
All right. Well, look, I got another one here, and this line just jumped up to 10 because Curtis Rourke and These Are the Breaks is playing for the Indiana Hoosiers. I am on Michigan State. I think I'm the only one on Michigan State. I'm sorry. I did a couple different shows here. And it seemed like everybody I talked to was on Indiana. I think Michigan State's going to cover the 10, and the fact it jumped up.
What? Where are you seeing 10 at?
DK. I was seeing DK earlier today. Did it bounce back? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7.5 now.
Am I insane? I could have swore I saw 10 this morning when I was looking at stuff.
Chat's about to get on you, Kobe.
Wait. Because when they announced, I think a lot of the uncertainty was the Rourke injury. I don't know. I'm on DK right now. I don't see it on DK. Anyway, yeah. I'm still on Sparty there. Take Sparty in the points. Let's go. What are you doing here?
I'm just surprised to see your fate in Signetti.
Well, it's the spot, buddy. It's the fact that Rourke is coming off of an injury. He had surgery like 8 days ago. I think Indiana can still win this game but Michigan State's going to cover that and at least give them a game. Indiana hasn't trailed this season. They will be trailing in this game at some point. This is the one they're going to have to sweat, because if they get through this with Michigan coming to town and with Purdue coming to town, this team is going 11-1, if not 12-0. So
I think that's your best bet, is the fact that they're looking ahead at Michigan.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm not betting this. No way. There's no way. But I'm still going to take IU. But I see where you're coming from. I 100% see where you're coming from, and because of that, I'm not going to bet this.
Yeah, I mean, look, Indiana can still win this game. I think they will. This is the gut check game where like Michigan State's up with 2 minutes left, and Rourke goes on like a 65-yard drive, and they win, 28-27. So they're due for that. I have a few other wagers that NC Nick couldn't believe that I bet this, but I feel pretty good about UTEP -3. They're 1-7, and they're hosting Middle Tennessee. It's strictly the fact that Middle Tennessee is on the road and they are fucking horrible. And I believe Scotty Walden and UTEP has them improving every single week. That, and I also feel like Middle Tennessee doesn't know who they are yet. Like I know UTEP, you could say the same because they're both on first year coaches, but I think Middle Tennessee, you saw, some of their better players have transferred out. So I think there's just kind of like they're just kind of a mess. I don't know if you have any opinion on this game. Damn, Myron in the chat saying Trey Harris is not dressed. Star wideout for the Ole Miss Rebels. That's huge. Yeah, I don't know. You got a feel in this Middle Tennessee UTEP game?
No, I'm not betting that. But I do agree with you. I do think that I would probably take UTEP, but nah, I don't have a good feel on that. Middle Tennessee just sucks, man. Like they're just horrible.
Yeah. Let's get to it. I know you've been waiting for this. Iowa State is laying 13.5 or 14.
I mean, I'm the one that's winning by a considerable margin, actually.
Yeah. I mean, but you see, I took Iowa State last week, and what happened? They almost lost that fucking game.
Yeah, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was.
Or was that 2 weeks ago? It might have been 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
It was but I because they're coming off a bye, because they somehow went into the bye as 9th in the poll and then came out as 11th, and I don't know how that happens. This team is completely.
Yeah, that's that bullshit that I've been talking about.
Yeah,
that's that classic bullshit, and I hope more
I
people
have no idea
notice
how
that.
you're not taking him again. Honestly, like I don't know how you look at this Texas Tech defense and say they're going to stop anything Rocco Beck has going on. Like I truly do not understand how you think that.
Texas Tech won the last time they played Names against Matt Campbell.
That wasn't Rocco Beck.
Dude, this is a gigantic fucking number.
Rocco.
This is a gigantic fucking number.
Do you know how bad that Texas Tech defense is? Like, Kobe, can we be objective and say objectively Texas Tech is probably one of the 15 to 20 worst defenses in college football?
I mean, they're certainly not known for their defense. I'll say that. They're giving up 300 passing yards per game right now. However, their offense can move the ball. I am all over Texas Tech here. We're doing battle because this line is ridiculous. 14 points. Who the fuck? Iowa State shouldn't be favored by 14 points over anybody in the fucking Big 12. So,
except Texas Tech, because Texas Tech fucking sucks. They covered against Houston. They did like, come on.
We got a battle at Ames. Terrell Furman.
Baylor too. Same thing about Houston. Same thing about Baylor. And Rocco Beck made you eat shit.
Baylor was up in that game at 1.2. Texas Tech and Baron Morton's playing,
covered,
right?
And they still covered. I just don't understand how you're backing this Texas Tech defense is really insane. Sorry. Kobe has not won fading Rocco Beck yet. That is actually a fact.
That is true. That is true. And maybe some say it's because Anthony Beck's the coach of that team in the UFL who I hate. That's probably true too. My vendetta against the Becks have been happening. Won't even drink a Beck's beer if someone offers. Arizona's heading into the moon bounce at Orlando, Florida. There, UCF's laying 6. UCF's played a lot better ever since they went to Ja'Cory Brown. Arizona's been a mess.
Yeah, Arizona's been horrible.
Give me the very Golden Knights minus the points, right?
Yeah, pretty easily. Like, I just think whatever hype that I had for Arizona, they beat Utah and then completely fell off a fucking cliff. I'm with you all over the Golden Knights here.
Let's go. And I love this play too. I love Navy minus the points against Rice. What do you think about that? NC Nick convinced me on this, but the more I looked into it, the more I think that the midshipmen are going to roll Rice. And Patty C's point of these option teams just fucking up these air raid Texas teams.
Yeah.
It's happened kind of.
And it's a nice get back spot.
Yeah.
Even on the road.
Let's load up on the midshipmen. Let's load up on the UCF very Golden Knights. I know Patty C locked up Coastal Carolina minus 3.5 at Troy. That's another one that he likes. I thought about it, and I think he's on the right side. I just can't commit because Coastal's been all over the place.
I think the Sun Belt's been kind of wonky.
They've been kind of shitty this year. The conference is down. The past couple of years, it's been much better. But that's what happens when you lose Signetti, when App State's in a rebuild. When you lose Jamie Chadwell at Coastal, you lose, Summerall at Troy, South Alabama's Kane Womack goes to Bama. So I think that's just a result of all of that coaching turnover. USC's at Washington. USC's laying 2.5. I like the Trojans in Seattle tonight.
I mean, for all the take of USC is do or die now. Still is there. Like, that doesn't change. Just because they got the win at and a big win playing against Rutgers, like, they have to win every single game out from here on out. So for even any confidence, like every week they feel like it's a playoff game for any confidence in how their season is going to finish out and at least make a bowl. So yeah, I think they're going to get this game done. I like USC on the road here too.
Yeah, I think we should probably add that to the parlay card.
And I think Washington sucks. Like, I don't think Washington is good.
Yeah. The night slate's actually kind of fire tonight because you have USC, Washington. Texas A&M is at South Carolina. Oh, Mike Elko, everyone else, including myself.
This is when Beamer kicks your ass.
This is just a bad spot, right?
This is when Beamer kicks your ass. This is when you come in here thinking you're hot shit. You had the press conference. You threw your shot at Jimbo. You're top 10 in the nation. And Beamer drafts up an offense that is going to kick your ass. At home, night game, Williams-Brice. Absolutely. This is a fucking lock.
I'm with you.
They're winning this game.
Yeah. I think we're right here. I think we're right. Gamecocks. It's just a bad spot. You just had that gigantic win.
By the way, I want to remind people that Texas A&M came in South Carolina a couple years ago with this same line and took an L. Like, this is when Beamer kicks your ass.
Now at that same time spot, I love this game here. I think Clemson's going to fuck up Louisville. Louisville's never beaten Clemson. First off, Louisville is also beat up back-to-back away. They stormed back and got the win against Boston College, but Colin Lacey's gone for the season. They're dinged up on the O-line and D-line. They're coming into Clemson, South Carolina against William Christopher Sweeney there. Dabo Sweeney laying 2.5. I'm sorry, 10.5. I'm all over Clemson minus the points here. I think this is like a 38-17 type of game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I am. I'm on Clemson, but for different reasons. Reasons I'm on Clemson is because Dabo is too full of himself to look ahead to Virginia Tech. And that's what's going to be their downfall next week, because he's not looking ahead to Virginia Tech and he's completely locked in on Louisville. They're going to beat the shit out of Louisville today. They will. And then they're going to take a righteous L against Virginia Tech next week. So, Dabble, this is what you get. You probably should be looking ahead. You probably should be looking ahead and getting ready for next week because you're going to seal your fate after you kick Louisville's ass today. Louisville.
Yeah. I just don't think this Louisville team's as good as I thought it was going to be. I took them win total over. I think I'm going to eat shit on that. I'm fairly certain I'm going to eat shit on that. But I think Clemson is actually better than they're a little bit ahead of what I thought they would be this year. Wisconsin, Iowa going on at the same time. Iowa's laying 2.5 lock. All over Iowa here at home and Kinnick. They're going to crush Wisconsin and win 17-14. What are you doing here?
Yeah. I'm concerned that I don't think that Wisconsin can move the ball against this Iowa team. Yeah. This is going to be a classic Big Ten. This is going to be a classic Big Ten game.
That's why you can't be scared of locking it up, folks. Lock
10-3.
up.
I'm telling you right now, 10-3.
Oh, that's a blowout. I had this as like 17-14, maybe 14-10, something like that. But yeah, that's one of my favorite plays on the slate. At the same time, Kentucky, Tennessee. Well, 15 minutes later, Kentucky, Tennessee tipping off. Kentucky's getting 17.5 right now. What? Lock. Kentucky 17.5.
Lay 17.5 with Tennessee if you want.
You're laying it?
No, I said whoever wants to lay it.
Oh.
If you want, no, I'm taking the points. I don't trust Tennessee. And Kentucky
17.5 is way too much for this game.
This might also be 10-3, by the way.
Yeah.
Like there's
17.5 is if I was setting this line to be at like Tennessee -8. 17.5? What am I missing here? 15 minutes after that, we have Pitt at SMU.
Yeah, the kickoff times were really crazy this week.
Yeah. SMU is laying 7.5. I don't understand why.
This is probably might possibly be the lock of the weekend.
Pitt.
You take Narduzzi as a dog.
Yes, and especially SMU just lost RJ Maryland for the season. He's like their best player on offense. What are we doing here?
And it's and they lost they lost the wide receiver today too.
Jake Bailey. Yeah,
so they're down their top leading receiver, and then they're down their second as well. Like I'm
why is this line 7.5? I'm all over Pitt too. I think you've played on the money line, but I'm surprised by the line. I thought this would be like a 3-point spread in SMU's favor. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Pitt is a better football team than SMU. I know they've gotten lucky on some stuff, but I just think Pitt's offense is going to put up points. The defense with every given week, Narduzzi is going to improve that defense. And then they have an awesome kicker as well. So like, yeah, give me Pitt.
Like, is it the quarterback issues? Like, I don't know what it is. Like,
well, I actually think Pitt's defense can give Kevin Jennings some problems. The way they blitz, I don't know that SMU has seen anybody close to that. Like, look at SMU's schedule. I guess maybe BYU with Jay Hill, but they're not as aggressive as Narduzzi. So, yeah, I think Pitt is going to at least cover this, but I think they can win that game. So I sprinkle that money line. Let's go.
I have no idea why that line is this big now that I think about it.
The line reeks, the line reeks.
I just hammered Pitt and I didn't think, oh, wow, this like, why are they even this big? I just said, oh, wow, Pitt's that big of a dog. I like it. All right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, well.
I'm still taking the stink. Dive into the stink. Dive into that stink. Colorado State, Nevada. CSU's laying 2. Battle. This is the Jay Norvell Bowl. Late night action. I think Nevada's going to beat them at home. Give me Nevada +2. But I didn't bet this. But I'm probably going to bet this.
I might end up betting this.
Is this true? Kyron Drones is out for Virginia Tech today. Myron Kidd hitting us with news right now.
Hold on.
Can we confirm that?
Hold on. We're because that's pretty big news. Wow, he warmed up and he's not playing. Game time decision on Tootin still. Wow, I mean,
Get those bets in. Those
plus four
bets
is
in.
plus 4.
We're gonna
is
get
amazing.
the worst of that number. That shit's gonna close at like 7.
Their backup is old buddy.
No, he started before
from Kent State.
And UCLA. He was at UCLA last year. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Schlee, Colin Schlee.
Wow, that's crazy.
TCU Baylor nightcap. Baylor's laying 3. I'm on Dave Aranda and Baylor to get it done.
Fucking TCU sucks.
Yeah. Any other games you want to hit on? I think that's pretty much.
No, let's get the money line round robin out before the 12 o'clock games start.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do the 12 o'clock game money line round robin, which is Penn State, Syracuse, Arkansas. And
we can't give out Syracuse anymore. It might not be available.
Yeah,
check and see. Is that available still?
Give me a second.
Yeah, Syracuse just denied Rob's DK bet. We can't give out Syracuse anymore.
Well, let's have one that ages well. You know what I mean? So people have time to put it in. So I say none of the early games.
All right. So wow, Kobe. I mean, does Vanderbilt count? Does Vanderbilt count as an early game? We get 45.
Yeah, you got 45 minutes. Fuck off, people. If you can't get it in then.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right, Kobe. Because
Vandy
that
is
was
one
a lot.
side.
You just took a lot off the slate for us. All right. So Vanderbilt. Okay, Vandy. Cool.
Money line. You didn't join me with Houston, right? You did not.
No. I'm not doing that.
Pitt will be 1.
Yeah, Pitt can definitely be the 2nd.
How do you feel about Kentucky?
Let's put South Carolina in there.
Yeah. South Carolina.
I'm telling you, South Carolina's going to win that game outright.
South Carolina, Pitt, Kentucky. I think Michigan State, but you're not with me on that. App State. App State's in there. App State's at home.
Okay. I can get behind App State.
So wait. Vanderbilt, App State, South Carolina. Do you want to add Pitt or Kentucky?
No. If we add Kentucky, I say take App State off.
We need a 4th leg, right?
Yeah. So we go Pitt, Vandy, Kentucky, South Carolina.
Pitt, Vandy, Kentucky, South Carolina.
We can't have 2 baby dogs. South Carolina and App are both kind of baby dogs. And I'm telling you, South Carolina's winning that game.
All right, I'll join you. Folks, that is our show. We'll be back tonight. We have a bunch of shit going on. So make sure you check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast. Give Terrell a follow on Twitter at @ReallyRel_.
Yep.
And I think we got a college basketball show on the SGP show coming out in the next 24 hours. We got the recap show tonight. Myself, Patty C. Jump on over there and subscribe to the College Football Experience and College Basketball Experience. Please hit that like and subscribe button right now, folks. You get another minute and a half here. Also, we're back. All the shows. I know we didn't have a DFS show this week because I was driving. We're good to go. We made it through the storm. DFS shows coming out. FCS shows coming out. Moving forward, we're home. All right. Give me a follow on Twitter.
And I probably going to be in a bar in the next week or 2.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. Definitely 100%. And we'll let people know if they want to come out. Let's go. Folks, we're on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Check out the College Football Experience. Tell a friend, do yourself a solid. All right. Get some street cred out there. Tell a friend about the show. All right. All right, folks. Till next time. This is the College Football Experience Week 10 pregame show. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot.